Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Back in for a pop-up anyway. Yeah, I had to pop on in today because we actually got off to a pretty good start there with Kuan Yin and Scorpio. What's this? Diary of a Scorpio, I believe it's called. And both of them were actually speaking on this new moon. I mean, this full moon right here coming up here. Confirmation to the left, from the left. Yeah, there's full moon coming up here in 3 days. And I want to say diary of Scorpio. I didn't grasp it, but regardless, he was spitting some pretty good, fire, especially right now coming into this Leo gate as we're pretty much in it, pretty much. But speaking especially on law, he's speaking on law and everything. And I loved it because his first short and everything actually is he put some music together, and then hey, right, walk with Bruce Lee, for that scene and everything, and that was fire right there. That was fire, as we are in this Leo fire time right now. And even for myself, as many people have shot, done their due diligence as to, hey, slow down on the food, okay? I got to, and it's good. Going through a lot of things, I'm not putting things to the left or to the right, taking what's, especially what it's up to me to do. But at the same time, even the cooking and eating and even smoking a cigarette again right now, these are both traits of my ancestors right here, me and my mom, and that of my papa, okay? And he smoked until he did go past in 73. But he had a real reason why he smoked, because not to say that mine is not real, but his reason was that of having syphilis, okay? Syphilis and so forth, and still making a decision to go ahead and have a family. And the first two supposedly came out, with some mental and physical issues like polio for one, okay? That's the first Mary, the polio. And then that of Bubba Jean, or Bobo, as they called him, Bobo, supposedly he had with a swollen head. Now these are stories of which I have been told, but at the same time I can go ahead and see how, whether they be true or not, I can see how all of this plausibly affected their head, affected their mind, affected their, the mental states and so forth, Plausibly. If not, then hey, it is not the case. It is just straight being in a yin state of mind, yin state of mind, and not really wanting to go ahead and change or challenge themselves to go ahead and change. But during this fire part of Leo right here, we are, like you said, 3 days approaching this new moon, the full moon, and then contemplating, because if we're actually looking at everything from many different perspectives and points of views, You know, this would be Shaolin Temple lesson number 13. You know, of standing still. You know, because the inferior people are on the rise right now, and so those who are of a superior mind, goal, mission, and may not, and we see, it's a plausibility that we see all of this on the rise, and so therefore we go ahead and halt on a lot of things, or come together with those who are of like-mindedness, same vibration, okay? And so we see this right now, and where do we see it at? We see it inside of this lion's gate. So somebody was lying about something. Do you see what I'm saying? But they're not lying about something because it says the inferior man is on the rise. So therefore, that's the lion that doesn't have melanin. Okay, we can't find black lion, even over in Africa. All right, we can't find one. So it was a actual hybrid animal, and that's just in the animal form. But because even like Bruce Lee, again, he was rolling the story, I think it was Steve McQueen. It might have been Steve McQueen. He says, and he grabs him and everything too. And he locks him up and he says, so what are you going to do now? You know? And then he says, you bite, for are we not animals? That's what Bruce Lee has said, you know what I'm saying? So we did have to come, first of all, become all the elements first and everything, you know what I'm saying? In order to come down here, you know, first, water. Okay, and water, if we go back over even to that of the Yoruba, okay, and we go to their creation story, we see who Obatala, you know, is given that mission to come down here and create Earth. And even at that point in time, you know, as, okay, say, Hien of I Ching, you know what I'm saying? You know, Father, creative, not creator. Creative, okay, is heaven, and Kun, receptive, is of earth. All right, and with us, those are the straight line upon line upon line. Okay, there's no break in that line. All right, in representation of our shaft. All right, phallus. Then we have that of Kun, which is the broken line, which is a representation of the Vava. All right, so in that creation of Olodumare and the 9 others that consult together, and everyone decreed, and I guess Olodumare goes ahead to decree also the creation of man. And Obatala, even in Obatala, you have the word bat, which means feminine. Okay? Matter of fact, when you go down to Cuba and we take the Yoruba traditions down to Cuba, okay, that's where you get the Alegbe. You get the Alegbe over here, you know what I'm saying? You get but what happens, even Obatala turns into Lady Mercedes, even from that of Obatala being the masculine form, and that of Yoruba to that of feminine form, even with the same orishas under Saint Mercedes, which goes into the Catholic Church. So we see all these processions and everything, and degrees. All right, these degrees It's about 14 of them to 15 of them, you know? And even counting back from this month right here, all right, if we were to go backwards, we'd actually go backwards and it will end up in January. 14 months. 14 months, okay? So the 15th month, or 15th degree in which we are in right now, is that of the augmentation of August. So this month was augmented in order to go ahead and be what it is for us today. But we still stand on, and we're still in the sun, okay? We're still in the sun. And that right there is that of Leo. But if we go back down to we talk about the elements, the water coming down, you know, to meet the earth. And then Ola, once creation is made, via Ola, meaning fire, burning, fire. Okay, not just burning in a sense of burning, you know, burning everything up and everything, but because really at first, water wanted to swallow everything up and kill everything. Okay, and that was done by who? Olokun. Olokun wanted to go ahead. She didn't, and it's in the feminine form. I'm not saying shit out. Except what it is inside the feminine form. Olokun. She didn't like. She said, "I guess I should be the one or something. I have no idea. I got to go back and check out the story. If not, you should check out the story." She said she was pissed off about it. So even with Obata's creations and so forth, she went ahead and fucking killed them all. Killed them all. But why would it first? You know? And so he went ahead and finally had to go ahead and chain her down and everything in order to calm the salty, bitter-ass waters like Mary, or the Mar, you know, which is the root word of Mars also, which is war, which what she was like, you know what I'm saying, the Mar, same thing, you know what I'm saying? So all those things right there is even translated over inside the I Ching to where Kun is there. And this is why Bruce Lee went ahead and said, Jeet Kune Do. Okay? Because we're keeping an inclusive of that with the Kun. But that Kun is also balanced. Okay? It's balanced in the Kundalini. You know? You know, we got those breakdowns of Ali and all that inside of there. You know, those are different things that have to be also harmonized within that word itself. Okay? So what happens is we go ahead and we see Olokun, you know, she's like I said, she was an unruly and just smashing the creation. Okay, and even though Obatala himself, you know, goes ahead with the creation story, is explaining. I mean, not explaining. He gets, you know, hey, want to have a little sip, and he mars human, the form of human, and so this is the reason why they say, you know, and he wasn't given to finish the job. Okay, it was taken away. Can't remember who was given it to finish the job, but it's still going on right now. I'll tell you that. Maybe it was Iobe, the job. Okay, and since I guess the Iobe was the oldest book, I guess maybe it was Iobe. All right, so. That one here, we're in fire month. We're talking about Lionsgate. We're talking about water. We're talking about being the elements and so forth and everything. Like I said, water first coming down, and even hola, which means hi in Espanol. You know what I'm saying? Hola. Okay. But it's burning means burning, to burn the offering up to a literal offering. Okay. as they put it, in the physicality. But if we kept it inside of what we know, that is ourself, burn up that, even the excess fat that I done put on right now, burn up not the cigarette that's going inside my mouth right there. That's really a burning offering to the death of myself, to the death of us. Then, if that's the case, to the death of we, to the death of we, and that's not, if I'm, it's everybody's. How you say? Once we get in a spiritual form, that could be looked at in a positive. Could be looked at in a positive and everything. Even as, like, say, but the reason why I'm saying that is like this. Even as we have relatives now, true enough, it said our ancestors who went ahead and smoked and drank, and it killed them to death. Killed them to death. And so sometimes we might even still go ahead, pour out a drink, for those of the ancestors, or even have a smoke for the other ancestors. But if we're going to go ahead and transfer, transfer and transform this life that we're living in, then, and be the conduit for their return, okay, through one of our seeds, all right, then we might want to go ahead. It's not good to go ahead and smoke while we're pregnant. So this right here, this month right here, is a pregnant type of seasoning and season and everything too. And what I mean by that is, as we continue on back with Leo, being the topic of the man of Lion's Gate, Leo inside. Remember, Leo inside the Wizard of Oz ain't had no courage, so Leo had to go ahead and create some shit. And the reality of it is this: we see it in what they created over there. Okay, it wasn't over here in the Americas, but what they created over there. And what is that? To go ahead and establish something big and everything, that somebody say, "Oh wow, this just got to be the place to be," or something. And that is called the Sphinx. The Sphinx. Okay, the IX on the end is number 9. Number 9. Okay, that's dealing with the cat. So we see the cat, Schoolhouse Rock, number 9. Naughty number 9. But that Sphinx, on the head of that Sphinx, it's a woman's head. All right? With the body of a lion, the feet of a bear, and the toenails, the tail of an eagle. So we see this right here at this Lion's Gate. So then why in the fuck Simba come? How the fuck Simba gonna get back in there? We know damn well it's Nyla, right? It's Nyla. Hey, why are we gonna build a Sphinx and it ain't gonna be Nyla then? Fuck it. Okay? Why are we gonna make motherfucking Hakuna Matata and it ain't gonna be Nyla? To keep going along with the story, right? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even here and there with that. I'm just saying, giving some questions and shit. Popping some questions. Because you just can't sit up here and just take everything on in and say yum yum yum. All right. You can't say yum yum yum. Every damn thing, the damn thing. But regardless, and even as they say, lion is the heart. Okay? I think that's lion right there. That's Lying. Because the heart, the shape of the heart, and if they kept it in the blood pump, okay, for format, then that could plausibly be. But if we went, that was a bark confirmation to the right back here, okay? I'm a dog. And then I come across and I see one up here. That's crazy. And so, so just these are things that just to think about as we're walking through this gate, as we're walking through this gate right now, because it's a transition in time, especially after 14 months. 14 months and coming into the 15th degree, okay, for the 120. The 120 and everything, okay? And that 120 is actually the length or the height of the Sphinx that we're talking about. All right? That is the actual length of it, and that's the 120 on that. So that transformation is something very, 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 we have to be attentive to, right? Have to be attentive to because we need to know when to plant, what to plant in this season, what to go ahead and let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. You know, even how to let it be. You know, if that's the case. If that's the case. Some people are advancing by any means necessary, and that's on them because as Kuan Yin has pointed out, you know, it's our ancestors. Some of our ancestors are like saying, "Honey, why don't you go ahead? You done had so many damn chances. See, you done had so many damn chances, honey. Why don't you just go ahead and do this shit right?" You know, that's what they say, and I believe that shit. I believe that shit for real. You know, because I know, you know, mi mama, prima rosa. Every time I pick up a cigarette, she's like, "Did you quit smoking yet?" Every time I picked up a cigarette, you know, even though I never cursed in front of them and never smoked in front of them out of respect. Uh, but they'll, you know, they know. She knows. I'm not gonna say he know. He knew by spying. By spying. He knew by spying, and he went a different route. He went a different route and everything. You know, but to each his own. All right, to each his own. And so, with that, Olokun and Obatala, you know, this is how we are. We find ourselves down here. We're all a little bit marred in some way. Whether if you might have that flawless skin and this and that. I'm not to say that your insides are not flawless. Also, you know what I'm saying. But a lot of the times, it's just the shell. It's just the shell, and the insides are fucked up. The insides are fucked up. No matter what, by monetary means, that we are succeeding in life, or Ife, you know, again, 3 Ife. Okay, so that's back to Yoruba again. You see what I'm saying? And so all those things one must take into account when going through this life in general. Okay, but even at this particular time right now, even this particular time, you know, because like I said, even but I left it with Olokun, you know, and Lady Mercedes. Okay, which Mercedes is German. Okay, Mercedes or Merced, right next to Fresno, same fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? All of it, and so these are the Michelins and everything, and so the passage in which 144 from the stars Odin gave to us and everything the other day, which was Malachi. Malachi. So Malachi, Malak is that of a king in fucking Arabia. Okay? And if we have an I on the end in Ivrit, then it's like my king. Okay? My king. That's a personal pronoun for I, my king. You know? Like Adonai, my Lord. Okay? Adon is Lord, Adonai, Lord. Same thing, same process with that I. So it's again of with that I. What does it makes it possessive? So in the English we should have manai, not money, manai, because motherfuckers is greedy, and that's they money. It's my money. It's my money, and it ain't they motherfucking damn money most of the time. What is it, J.G. Wentworth? It's my money and I want it now. And it ain't your motherfucking money if it ain't your fucking money, honey. And so it's like, and it's not, it's not even the money. We're just talking about fucking currency, bro. You know, like currency flow. You know what I'm saying? Currency. You know, to be current. You know what I'm saying? Look, back to the ocean again. The current is coming up and everything. All right. So if your shit is your current is off, and you got waves coming, then nobody can't even surf on you, bro. Nobody can't even surf with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's Alakun that's being down there. I mean, when we have those, she might be in a Bermuda Triangle. I tell you the truth. Olakun, she might be in the middle of Bermuda Triangle. All right. So, and that's close to Lori. That's close to Lori right there. Florida. Lori, I call it Florida. Lori is Lori, you know what I'm saying? This is Erica right here. Erica, the hidden Erica. This is North America, you know what I'm saying? South America, which is Sur, which is below. It's basically the same thing, Sur, below, the hidden America. Okay? I'm Erica. I'm people Erica. All right? And these are, again, the eternal ones. And so all these things, thinking back, like even I showed you even with my letters and everything that I received from mi mama prima rosa. Okay, back, I go back, we're going back and everything. When I'm saying go back, just do the short form right now, and so it's January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. All right, January, February, March, April. If we start in January to January is 12, right? So February, March, April, May, June. February, March, April, May. So it's 14, it's 12, 13, 14, 15. Let me slow down again. Okay, so we was January to January is 12. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 13, 14. Okay, 14. January is 12, February 13, March is 14. Oh, peep game. So this right here is actually this is one cycle, okay? So within February, March, and April is 3 different cycles on top of each other, okay? Why? Because February is the base, all right? February is the base. How do we know that? We know this because the Chinese New Year starts in February on the 5th, in a general sense, February, and we'll go for a week, and we know how it slides back and forth. February. Not only that, because February is what? The shortest fucking month. Which, hey, if there's only one like that, then motherfucking it's a start and everything. Not only that, because February 14th is even that of Valentine's Day to go ahead. And so that's a love and everything, which Cupid, the greedy, Cupid means greedy, okay? Shooting the heart, okay? So that's the heart, that's the lion's heart, right? Shooting at the heart. But the heart, again, that's the pump, that's the blood. Same Valentine's Day massacre. Bam, okay? But that's that heart. The real heart is really at our first chakra, our root chakra, okay? Upside down, that's the real heart. And that's where we get the color purple, because even bursting of virginity and everything, when blood dries and everything, it will be even blue, black, even purple. Okay, so all of those things, and that's sacred. It's royalty. That's in the Shekinah. Okay, that's for the sacred, for the bedroom and so forth and everything. So all those things right there have been mixed and jumbled. You understand? So February, then we have March, then what? March is people going to war. Why? Because it's melting down and everything, as far as the winter, Even right now, as it says, in the middle of the summer, it started to snow. Well, we know for a fact that in December was not the Jesus thing, it's really about right now. So middle of summer, which where we at the Lion's Gate, which is about the middle of summer. And the reason how it attaches and everything is because the tribe of Judah, and Judah is that of the lion. Okay, so Judah, you know what I mean? Judah, but Judah was that one, and he had three sons. One we saw in Bereshit 38:7, which basically is our first 7-11. The 11 reducing to 38, and then at 7, okay, 7-11, and that was the killing of because whatever the fuck did, was out. So then the other son, I can't, Othaniel, I believe his name was. Then Shemaiah was betrothed to Tamar. Okay, Tamar. And Judah was the one who actually, now when we go back to Malachi, when we're talking about 144 from the stars and everything, he said he betrothed to these different wives and so forth and everything. So who did that? Judah. Judah was who? The firstborn. Firstborn. Okay. So Judah did that, and Tamar. And so we see that inside of the genealogy and everything, going back up to, because Malachi ends the whole 39 chapters. That's 93 and 39. That's the number. That's Malachi. Okay? And it may be Melachi. But if we utilize both, all three, just know, and even we'll jump over to India in a little while, but we just stay inside these three right now. So basically, what happens at that point in time is if we go to the next very chapter, then we have that of Rusty Dawn. Okay, 9:30. She goes ahead and said Rusty Dawn is the new Adam. That's what Rusty Dawn on her tarot channel does. And so she has her little style and everything of bringing this and that and everything, and talking, good things and bad things, and in between, it's all, hey, in the formats that we choose to use. Hey, and it's not bad, good, or ugly to it. Hey, it is what it is, But she's talking as she is the Rusty Dawn of the new Adam, meaning 93, because that's where Matthew starts. All right. And at that point in time, Matthew starts the first 14 generations. 14 generations of Matthew, from Matthew and everything, and the paternal. Paternal of what? Again, going back to Pi, which is right now during this PI, this month right now, okay, of August, and it's pretty much again saying those people who are inferior are on the rise. Why? Because now they're going vicious in for the heart. Why? Because it's getting colder now.
And this is where they're going to thrive at, because when they thrive, don't get me wrong, they love the change of season. Now we all need to change the season anyway, but when we get cold, ice cold, like Isa, you know what I'm saying, ice cold Isa, you know, even though Freya on a Friday and everything, you know what I'm saying, and hey, Freya, Friday, what do we do? On Fridays also, that's given to Olokun, so we have a balance there. Olokun, I mean not Olokun, but Oshun, and why? Because Ol, Olokun, or Yemeya, she is that of the bitter waters and so forth. Bitter waters that flow and everything through rivers and so forth like that, you know. Well, I'm not gonna say rivers, but we will go ahead, especially the salt waters and everything, right? But then when we go to Friday with color of yellow or gold and everything, honey, we get that way we go to Oshun, and Oshun is out of the fresh water. So there's a balance in that. Even on that Friday, even fire for Freya, okay, you know, and this is with the Jewish and everything. Why is that? Because Jewish went ahead and they said the Shabbat was that on Friday, Friday. You know what I'm saying? And so at the same time, for what Saturday, which is Saturn. So they're giving a burning, you know, Shabbat, the candles. This is symbolic of that, to go ahead for a fucking Shabbat, which is Saturn, okay, on the motherfucking damn on Saturday. We haven't got to Shemesh, which is Sunday. We haven't got to Shemesh yet. Okay, so all of those things. Do you see the balance in that and everything? Or if there's not a balance, I mean, you do see the balance if you have fresh water on that Friday, and then how many? Okay, so we got fish no matter what. Friday's usually what, fish day, and a lot of shit is fucking fishy around here. I can smell it. Can you smell it? I think some fishy shit is going around here. It's a lot of fishy shit. Matter of fact, I cracked the one. I saw him. He Cat Stevens, or Cat I can't think of his name right now, but damn, I'm fumbling his name. But Cat, the brother that started telling everyone, just sharing everything that's motherfucker been happening too. So, you know, and Hollyweird, because you know what, he was one of the first ones to go ahead and do it inside of there too, and I was like, some of the stuff I was like, nah, the brother lying on a lot of stuff, but no. He had the eightfold on there. He wear the eightfold, okay? He wears the eightfold on the side of it, on the chain and shit, the wheel. You know what I'm saying? And so and the wheel is back on the ocean again. You know what I'm saying? Back to the fish state. Fish. And so we got, even at the Lion's Gate, we got what? Lionfish, right? We got motherfucking damn catfish. Now, catfish is what we're going to find inside of the muddy waters and everything. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of fishy shit going on around here. Fishy shit. You know what I'm saying? In which people think, or people don't think, like Judah, that we're not going to go ahead and bring out the motherfucking abacus, okay? Because that was 9:30 for that 14 and everything. Then we go to the feminine of that of Luke, okay? Luke 3:20, Luke 3:23 through, I want to say 28 is where you're going to find the matriarch genealogy. So Luke, okay, now that's Luke from like Lucifer, okay? Okay, that's even 3:3 to KE to Kenya, all right? So the 30, let's say 33 Kenya, okay, the 33rds of Kenya, all right? So, and Luke is known as the physician. Back to the body and everything, and since so you got to be the doctor and everything. Doctor do what? Go and tell us, we need this, that, in order to do what? Break down the motherfucking body in general. It ain't they're not holistic, and it's so they break down the motherfucker. So this is the fucking mission and shit. This is the reason why, all you got to go to school because you got to do it the way they're telling you to fucking do it. Okay, so and it's worked up to this fucking point for a lot of shit. And so what happens inside of there? They're doing them. How are we doing it? They know all of the motherfucking damn, the basis of it, like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, and everything. Since I usually just say spa, okay, because you can go into a spa, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, or this is Mount Aspen in Colorado. Okay, this is the snake. This is the serpent. This is the serpent, and then the Joker actually put him in there today. He went ahead and spoke on some of how the serpents and everything. You go in here with all of the fucking serpents. You know what I'm saying? All of them, and they fucking say, "Hell, we done bit this motherfucker, bit his ass, bit her ass, and everything, and this motherfucker still won't motherfucking die. How in the fuck, And that's Gog and Magog. Okay, Gog and Magog. That's Garden of the Gods, right down the motherfucking street in Colorado Springs. Okay, and Magog, Ma is the horse Gog. Okay, so the horse Gog, who do you think that is? Who got the most motherfucking population on the planet? All right, who is Jack? Who Ma? Okay, Ma means horse in that of Chinese. So Magog, okay, that is fucking who China got the biggest motherfucking damn army like that. Physical. You see? So all of that shit is fucking like there. It's there. Matter of fact, when I was living in fucking in Colorado Springs, now this was Pueblo, but she lived in Colorado Springs and everything. I met a lady who she looked badass body. Oh my god, she looked like Barbara Streisand too. So I was intrigued. You know what I'm saying? And it was cool until one day I woke up and she's sitting in my motherfucking bedroom looking at me, and I woke up and she's just sitting there looking at me. I was like, whoa, you know. But every interaction was cool and everything. We went out, took her truck, and we would go up in the mud and everything, driving and everything, did a lot of good shit and everything together, good stuff together. Me and Mikey, staying with Mikey at the time, and the only thing the thing I loved about it, but the only thing I could stand at the same time, is when she laughed, she had that snork, that snorkel. I, 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 she was cool as fuck. She was cool as fuck, but I couldn't take that snorkel laugh. And body, oh my goodness. Barbara. I don't know how Barbara Streisand. She had a better body than Barbara Streisand. She body, oh my goodness. And face is beautiful. You know. Anyways, Garden of the Gods, Gog, and Magog is that of the Chinese army. Okay, all of it. Okay, so with all of that right there, yeah, with the, like I said, with this Lions Gate. So we got Lions Fish. I was on Friday with Freya. Okay, and the burnt offering. So what do we have? Fish Fridays. Same fucking shit. It's just in oil. It's just starting. It's the same fucking shit. All right. So what do we put? Now, catfish is the nastiest motherfucking because we find out in the mud and eat every motherfucking thing. That's the nastiest motherfucking fish. Oh my goodness. And anyway, so then we have what? Dogfish too. We got dogfish down here too. You know what I'm saying? So all of these things right now are even when we left off with February, Mar is the ocean. March is just put on there. The CH for life. And that life is for war. The CH sound is for life. So that March is whether we go to March Madness is war and so forth and everything. Okay? And May is straight up Mayday. May is Maya illusion. That's the illusion. Okay, so within counting all these 14 days or 14 months back, even the 14 that was in my mom's letters, brought me back to this thought form because as I was sitting up and going through all that I was, mem- surfing, channel surfing, memorizing. I mean, not memorizing, but just going back through it all. Uh, you become embodied. What happens to you if you lend yourself, you give yourself fully over to these things, and some things will, like I said, you be sleep, you'll lay there, okay, let it. It's inside the scripture. I want to say Psalms 9. Stay on your bed, okay, stay on your bed, you know, and and let these retrogrades come through you, feel everything. So what had hit me was like it was also when I was inside the pen and everything. You know what I'm saying? These 14. It was about 14 months when I had stopped, jacking off. Like Flip Michael Jackson. Who was it? I think it was Jermaine. It might have been Randy, the gay that had the punchline of there was one show that was doing, and he wanted to go out here with Flip Wilson. He wanted to be part of. Man, let me go ahead and sing up his. And nobody wanted to let him in and everything. So he said he gonna go backstage and everything. He says, and Randy gave him the punchline. Yeah, get to the back, Jack. You know what I'm saying? And so going through Mike and Janet and wow, all these are I was busy doing my shit, I didn't even get into any of what everybody's into or learning or again, I'm getting my shit out the fucking mud, getting my stick out the mud. It wasn't spoon fed. My shit ain't spoon fed. Matter of fact, it ain't shit. The things that we're talking about were not given to me. I had to get it myself. All right. So there is no rush. There's no rush. Time does not exist. We do have bridges that come across. We do have people or places or things we might go ahead and come, but it doesn't necessarily mean, like people say, it'll never come again. It's not like a fucking a planetary conjunction that will not. Why is that? Because those are part of the operation. We speak things into existence. Okay, somebody wanted to go ahead and say, you missed this, it doesn't come back around. Bullshit. Bullshit. Okay. Maybe if you're operating on somebody's operating system, or you want to go ahead and uh, conjoin because of the time, then that's, if you want to let that be your law to that, but that's not how we made this shit. No, no. We see the seasons. We see when, again, like we said, Pi, Pi, which is Pisces. Okay, Pisces, Aries, and Taurus. That's the paternal. Then we go to the maternal, and then Matt, which is Tom. Tamil again. Back to the Tamil. Okay, and this Matt was Matthew. Okay, and that also of in India. Okay, the math is really the temple. And what are we talking about? This is the math of the temple. Even the 14 that of the meridians to even the 114 that of the uh, which are the titans doubled up, okay, doubled up, whether it be of the suras, okay, which is that of our whole body also, as even Allah, okay, okay. So meaning arm, leg, arm, and head. Allah, Allah, Allah. That's the body. It's no deeper than that. So what they do is they go ahead and burn these bodies though to give offerings and shit. And then the reason why when I put that inside there, as far as uh, as far as what did I say here? These mental. I'm skipping. Anyways, what had happened was me when I was inside and I abstained from jacking off. This is where the semen retention and this is where the pay comes in. This is where the pay comes in. So that if you didn't jack your money off, then you have money to pay attention. And what is money is that? That's that currency that's inside of our root chakra. It had nothing about the heart. That's at the root chakra where the semen, and now we're back to the ocean again, right? Yeah, the fucking semen. Okay? The Navy call them what? CBs and shit. You know what I'm saying? So goes back to the semen retention, or that even that of the woman's uh, jism. I don't know what it's going to be semen too. I don't know. I got to look at that right there. You know what I'm saying? Vava juice, the vava, not guava juice, but vava juice. The feminist vava juice and the semen, commingling. You know, and but if we retain it, that is the currency. That is the water. That is the energy. That is those things that are, and then we go ahead and vibrate it back on up through our spot, and this is in the ethereal body, and even working out and sending these energies to every part of our body, you know, to every part of our body. And all this stuff is really inside of the scriptures, inside of the surahs, inside of the fucking King James, inside of the fucking Bhagavad Gita, inside of Mahabharata, inside of fucking uh, what do you call it? Tibetan Book of the Dead, inside of what Egyptian Book of the Dead, and even and and, I was waiting, you know, even on Annie's ass. Annie, she goes to take Sefer Debir, which is the city of Sefer, meaning the book, in order to go ahead and she put what Savannah Sefer. She just put her fucking name on that shit, okay, and put it before. All right, put it before, and that is also goes back to the Annie Papyrus, okay, all of that shit, and that's the reason Mike said, Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? And you've been struck by a smooth criminal. Ba-ba-doom, ba-ba-doom, boom. Mike, Mike ain't no motherfucking joke, huh? Oh my goodness! And even Janet. See, she came in. We came in together. 66. She came in. She my elder. She got me by a month. Okay, at least on a paper. She got me by a month, and so I saw her come in first and everything. All these motherfuckers. No, I'm just playing. There's a lot of people came in 66 and shit, but I saw her first. Okay, but anyway. This is what happens when you sit back and read, and you gather the moss. Like they say, a rolling stone gathers no moss, and that's in two ways and everything. That could be a positive and negative. And that negative is that the stone has to be, this part of the, like the candle, the fire has to be kept lit also. These are part of the works of the priests and everything. Okay? Works of the priests and everything. And that's why each one took 1 hour. As you had 24 elders, and that of Revelation 3, also that of 24 priests, with Yeshua being number 9 in 1 Chronicles 24, or it might be 2 Chronicles 24. So you can remember that by 24 priests, 24 First Chronicles, okay? And then the 24 elders and so forth. So all those things right there are, and that's just on the mundane day, 24 hour. We're not even talking back up to the degrees and everything, which we're going by month by now, and that's where I was at 14 degrees, okay? And the 15th degree, which actually ends after my platoon number of 1076, that of Psalms, which every letter has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Even if you go back to fucking Mike in 1958, you go 1, 2, 3, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63. Hold up. 58, 59, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 66. Okay, Mike came in, and then who came in after that? The first should be last, and the last should be first. What? Janet came in, right? That's the 8. That's the 8. So that's the reason why, you see how shit work? Yeah. Woo, did y'all hear that? That little confirmation, that looks like a shot. It was just one shot too. One shot, one kill. So yeah. So to go back through and listening even to her, and I owe everybody a lot of people apology on a lot of stuff, what I'm saying? I call it like I see it until I see it, until I don't, I have to come back up and hey, that's our apologies and everything, If we can accept that, then fine. If not, I understand totally. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But it's no buts. I mean, that's just me. It is what it is until it's not what it's not. And then if I see that it's not, then I'm gonna go ahead and correct that on my end. But that's not how everybody work. You know, that's not how everybody work. That's not how everybody be. A lot of people act. Divinations. Get the fuck. Book of Acts. That's the reason why I came. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. The genes are going to be do some acting, and a lot of motherfuckers are poor fucking actors. A lot of them motherfucking over dramatize some shit. I personally would take Bruce Lee's approach. Reason why? Even when you go to the heck, the Wahakawi tribe, and it's two of them. It's real tribe, because the Wahakawi tribe actually, is all, they went off from Hawaiian Islands supposedly and went over to Australia. Okay, Wahakawi. Okay, but then we got F Troop too. That got the, but they told you this real story and shit and everything, in the sense of how they was traveling hill over hill, mountain over mountain, river over river, and then they find where up, and they said where, he said, and we here, and then he said this is how we become the where the heck are we tribe. And then they get the federal fucking grant because they still don't know where the fuck they from, but fuck, we here, where the heck are we? Where we came by boat. all of that shit was like, fuck, I was like, wow. F Troop, and they came from the F Sin, okay, the F Sin, first National Indians, okay, 1946, F Sin produced F Troop. Where the heck are we, motherfuckers? Wow. And then you got like say for instance, like with Linda, she has a Polynesian, Karen. She has the whole Karen face and everything, and you see Karens all over. You see Karens all over, because I mean, not necessarily. No, you see them all over, but you see them more in the Polynesian, in the air. She has that Polynesian, maybe even an Indian type of a look and everything, and so yeah, even Indian. You know what I'm saying? But this is where the Karens and everything come from. You know what I'm saying? So when Tylo put another Karen in my parking space, that's not even what a fucking Karen motherfucking look like. That motherfucker, wow, wow. 11 fucking years he went down the first fucking time. We did the same fucking time, 11 years. And then motherfucker gonna get out and point to a white Karen and say that's a Karen. Get the fuck out of here, Brian. Come on, man. Come on. That's why when we when we was when we were going back and forth, sharing different lyrics and everything. Honestly, his lyrics did not motherfucking damn do nothing for me. You know, unfortunately, maybe he got jealous because mine did something for him or something, but his lyrics did do nothing for me. You know, and evidently, I guess the consensus of the community, because he even had to again one. Who was it? It was Kendrick and fucking who is he going up against? Kendrick and Drake. He get on, they doing their thing. But he get on the motherfucking thing and say, why everybody fucking, worry about Kendrick and Drake? Why don't you put a brother up, buy some of my shit? It was like, wow. That whether he is a younger homie or whatever, he's on point right now. So why the fuck would you go in there and you from the same fucking hood? Why'd you say some shit like that? You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how motherfuckers be tripping. It's some weird ass motherfuckers these days, boy. Woo wee, woo wee. So basically, in order to go ahead and extract yourself from all of these types of mentalities and internal things that maybe even our ancestors even did that comes out in us. We are working some shit out, working our own shit out. Okay, even if it's working the actual shit out, stop doing the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe I ran across the thing where little Richard said, I am no longer gay. And not to say that, not to suggest this in him. I'm just saying, as far as whether he was or not, but he had made the statement, I am no longer gay. A lot of things change. And whether it was at the beginning of his career, which we know it was, towards the end of his career, to where his ancestral line went ahead and said, hey, Little Richard, boy, you don't fix that motherfucking shit. He said, okay. Okay, auntie, okay, God. Oh, well, he did Molly, huh? Good golly, Molly, yeah. Molly, yeah. Little Richard was something else too, Richard the what? The Lionheart. And even if you go to Buckingham Palace, and we talk about Buckinghams, you know what I'm saying? Like Ohio Buckeye State. What are you fucking bucking? Bucko? Buckingham Palace. So we know what the fuck they was doing. Bucking pigs. Fucking pigs. Oinking, oinking and boinking. And they had three, for King Richard the first, second, third, they had three lions up there. So during this Lion Gate, and we got 3 days to the full moon of it. We're in it right now, but as Lady Lulu Becca even pointed out, popped in on her for a second too, and she said, we're there already, and the actual day is going to be around number 9. So that's even Schoolhouse Rock number 9. Oh, wait, naughty number 9. And even in conjunction with what we're seeing right now, as the heaven, the image. This is what the image is. Heaven and earth do not unite. The image of stand still. Pi, Pete. Why? Because these bucks are really become a stagnation. So the stagnation, if they're bucking anybody, is probably another, masculine and masculine. But we're not going to produce, not to, it's not the point. I know everybody's not here, but it is in the commandments to be fruitful and multiply your seed. So it's maybe you've come into here and said, hey, I'm not gonna have any fucking children. I don't give a fuck. This world is fucked up, this, that, or what have you, man. Or if you have some children, you said, and they're fucked up, but you know what? You committed that. You went ahead and completed that commandment. That of seed, multiply thy seed. Okay? So you went and did that. Whether how the world is this, that, the relationship with it, you did it, okay? And you didn't do it to go ahead and steal the energy from it, from your child. You didn't get jealous, as it has been said within even my coming in here, get jealous of that child's energy. Just trying to smote it out. Smote, as Lady Kuan Yin, smote, you know, smote things out, you know. Uh, you completed the commandment. But this is what this image is right now in this Lion's Gate of August through September. Right? So it says the superior man falls back upon his inner worth in order to escape difficulties. He does not permit himself to be honored with revenue. You don't get bought to fuck off. When owing the to the influence of the inferior man, mutual mistrust prevails in public life. Fruitful activity is rendered impossible because the fundaments are wrong. Therefore, the superior man knows what he must do under such circumstances. He does not allow himself, to be tempted by dazzling offers to take part in public activities. This would only expose him to danger and anger, since he or she cannot assist to the meanness of others or others. Assent to the meanness of the others. He therefore hides his worth and withdraws into seclusion. All right? And so 6-1, 6-1, 6 at the beginning. At the beginning, 6-1, 6-1 is death, angel of death. That is that of in the Quran anyway. You know? And this is also when you go into hotel rooms, most of the time, that lowest coolant, the lowest on the AC, you get it down to, it's fucking 61. So understand how it is a slow death inside of there, even when you go ahead and put it on, to especially. Anyway, check it out. Check it out. I'm not gonna go into it. Okay, so the ribbon of grass, rhythm of a line, rhythm of grass, right? Is pulled up, and the sod comes with it. Now, the sod actually means secret. The sod porridge, sod pottage. This was what red sod pottage, and that. So the secret, and so the color red is back to Mars. We know the color red blood. We know, whoa. Do not eat everybody's motherfucking food, especially no spaghetti. Especially because they're gonna put that one menstruation cycle inside of that shit, and we're gonna be fucked off. And even looking at the word man and woman and so forth and everything, even that is to both masculine and feminine. Man is in both words, okay? But even for the feminine, is telling the female, you know, it's to both, first of all, both of us, equally. But especially to the feminine because of the yang qualities and everything. It's what the English did not do. They took the E off the woe man. So it's even the woe man, the woman within the woman got a woe herself, okay, and that's even in the man too. You know, we have bitches. She be on a fucking period like a motherfucker too. You know what I'm saying, bitch, be a dickhead. And at the same time, those women that don't woe their masculine part, in which even what's her name? She went ahead and utilized it. How you doing? How you doing, Tiara? Tiara, she says, I only 111 coming up. Whoa, okay, we're right now. I just saw it 111 on the clock right now. 111. Whoa, I saw it coming. Wow. And so she says she only goes into her masculine when she get money. Okay, even in that right there, however everybody does it, it's beautiful. And you have to do it also, don't get me wrong, especially with the world we're living in that masculine sort of sense. And then because of that, then they, don't get me wrong, if you don't come back to a balance and everything, to say whoa on put that with that E on there, and see the E is every fucking thing. The E is motherfucking everything. Okay? That is the fucking spirit. Okay? This is Russian. This is Russian right here. That's Russian letter right there. Okay? And why is that? Because this is the fires. That's why the middle finger's up higher. You see the middle finger? You see it? Okay, it's high because that's the flame. That's the fire. That's even Saturn, right? That's even Saturn, right? Yeah. Flame on. You know what I'm saying? Flame on and everything. Flame on. You know what I'm saying? Flame on and everything. You know what I'm saying? But the iconic. I come so. Janet's finger. Oh my god, that one was the shit back then. I didn't even see that. There's so much music I didn't fucking miss. But damn. It is and it's kind of cool. The reason why it's kind of cool because it wasn't spoon fed to it, motherfucker. Where I had to look at it a certain way. It's like you go and you make your own discoveries and shit. You know what I'm saying? When it's time for you. When it's time for you. And that be on in a spiritual sense, scholastic sense, and but book sense is really it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the book of life, which is in you. Okay, we're something here talking about, which is in us, in which we turn pages, and then we might say, "Hey, what's that word meaning right there?" Then a book will appear to go ahead and actually try to help you to understand it in the way that you are supposed to receive it. Okay, not the way that somebody else wants to go ahead and say it is, because your vibration, where you're at, coming into this 3D world is where we're at, and we're supposed to be for our mission's reason, not no one else's. 1:14:07 on the clock. No one else's reasoning. 1:14:14 on the clock. No one else's brain Tanzania reasoning, or brain less, or brain mores. You know, it's none of their fucking reasoning. Why? Because we're not made, and we actually chose these different images to come into. Whether it be in the physicality, whether it be in the spiritual sense, even like I said, or as everyone else, we're the underwriter, the overwriter, we are that of the publisher, you know, and And because people are not necessarily in their own, they have their own fucking pen, meaning sword. Okay, sword meaning take the S off because we are in that serpentine nature. What was left, words, words, which goes back to the city of the book. So if you go into your own akash, maybe you burnt up your shit. See, the akash, the ash is a burning, okay, and the AK is a 111. So that's even Sagittarius. That's fire right there itself. AK is 111, and so that's fire itself. Kashik and the IC 93. Come on, how can you be 93? How can you be a new atom then? That's where the Matthew is, right? How can be a fucking new atom if you burning up your shit, or if you fumbling through somebody else's Akashic records and thinking that you're gonna fucking go ahead and come on, y'all, you don't hear me? Did you hear that dog? You hear the dog? That's to the right. He did that twice. Or she did. So this grass pulled up with sod comes with it, each according to its kind. Oh, I didn't even get to that part yet. Each according to its kind. That's what we're saying. Okay, so yeah, so this text is almost the same as that of the first. We're not gonna get it. So basically, in the latter, the man is drawing another along with him and on the road to an official career. Here's a man drawing another with him into retirement from public life. All right. So that's each according to his time. So one is actually going into his official career, and the other one is going into retirement from public life. So wherever we're at inside of our own timeline, and again, if this is not our fucking timeline, switch the motherfucking time, change channel. All right. You hear the dog again? Okay. So perseverance will bring fortune and success. Do not undertakings bring good fortune? I'm saying, and not undertakings brings good fortune. Perseverance brings good fortune and success, and not undertaking brings good fortune. So, did you hear what I said before? As, again, somebody has said, "Hey, you missed this opportunity," then it ain't coming. It's going to be a long time to come back around. That's what they think, and that's what'll happen to them. All right. There's the third bark on that one. So if it becomes impossible to make our influence count, it is only by retirement that we can spare ourselves humiliation. Success is a higher sense in a higher sense can be ours because we know how to safeguard the value of our personalities. And the thing about it is, a lot of people personalities is that's a different story. I ain't even gonna fuck with them. I ain't even gonna get on that. You know, you can go ahead and be flamboyant as we want to be, or utilize the lights, and cameras and action, to make stuff be more sparkly, or however people do it. You know what I'm saying? Damn, that dog is really helping me out right now. Kind of cool. Okay, so 62, 26. And man, oh man. Yes, yes, yes. So we could go ahead and be Sammy, if we're really hearing, Sammy Davis Jr., you know what I'm saying? If we really motherfucking hearing right now, you know, as a as, as a god, Sammy, you know what I'm saying? Then you entiendo más. Sam, entiendo más. Yeah. You will understand more. Sam, you will understand more. Okay? And and you will actually be, everything will be, hey ya, you know what I'm saying? Hey ya, as far as why? Because you will be living eternally. You will be living eternally. Okay? With the power of the great. Power of the great. You will be the one. You will be Neo. It's the same thing. The own Neo inside of your life, 121 on the clock. That is revelation. That is the revelation. All right? So with that right there, they bear and endure. You know, the 60. If you're going to go ahead and be an eternal living one, then you're going to bear and endure. Okay? This means good fortune for inferior people. Remember, this is the time right now. This is the Lion's Gate. That's the reason why people is on a roar. Oh, it's a Lion's Gate. You look at and the Sphinx. If you're in feminine form, hell, you're sitting down. You got your head up. You got you're the lioness and everything, right? And you got fucking what? You don't have to do a whole lot. Why? Because they're gonna come and you're gonna if it's time to come around you and everything, you got the claws of an eagle and everything, so you grab. This is what's happening right now. The inferior people, even as sphinxes, even as queens, okay, they have the fucking bear, and they can't get away because you got the bear arms and the foreleg, the LL. No, well, everything except for the H, the ALL, Allah. That's Allah. So Allah without the H, because the H is really an I, but you know we'll go ahead and utilize it as it is written in Ivrit, which is that of the spirit and everything, which we're talking about and everything. But because of the capitalization and the I doesn't exist on the lowercase with that dot, it doesn't exist. But because of this third world we're in, we know that I shares are in right now. That's the whole thing of the soul people. SOULLOUL, the Laos people, that of Kenya, that of Uganda, that of Tanzania, and then the I shares that, even that of the Irish, Black Rock I shares and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like iPhone, okay? Wait a minute. This is going into the bizwax business of that, and so all those things, a lot of people that are inferior operate this. And what does the word inferior start with? What? An I. Listen to the crows, bro. Like I mean, they cracking on me. They cracking on us. He just started with us too, huh? I'm missing it. I think he was about 8 times, and he's still going. He talking. Oh, it's only one talking. Wow, I didn't pay attention. I was talking over it, but it's straight. He's saying something. Wow, or she's saying something. Let me keep going real quick. So it says, so inferior people are okay. So this means fortune for the inferior people. The standstill serves as a help to help the great man to attain success. Inferior people are ready to flatter their superiors in a several way. They would also endure the superior man if he would put an end to their confusion. You said it again. They would also endure the superior man if he would put an end to their confusion. This is fortunate for them. So even if they was rolling, the inferior man doing whatever, and they went ahead and put a stop to their motherfucking confusion, like lock their motherfucking ass up. What did they say? He would also endure a superior man if he would put an end to their confusion. Halt them in their fucking tracks because they're on the fuck. They would still even like him because now at least they could rest. They might be fucking tripping and say, "Fuck, I got busted. All right, oh, I got to do the fucking thing." You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? It. You know. But at least fucking, hey man, fuck tired of that shit. I have to keep that shit up all the fucking time, you know. It's fucking long time, you know what I mean? Fucking hey, fuck. You know? So they fucking even like it anyway, you know what I'm saying? Well, this is fortunate for them. But the great man calmly bears the consequences of the standstill. Right? He does not mingle with the crowd of the inferior. That is not his place. By his willingness to suffer personally, he ensures the success of his fundamental principles, or her fundamental principles. 62, 63, 63, right? And this is before the completion, okay? Self-sustaining one. Kayom, self-sustaining one, all right? All right? And so inferior people have risen to power illegitimately, do not feel equal to the responsibility they have taken upon themselves. In their heart, they begin to be ashamed. Although, hold up, in their heart, they begin to be ashamed. Although, at first, they do not show it outwardly. And this marks a turn for the better. A turn for the better. Okay? And we're not talking about the tea and urn again. No, we're talking about a fucking sacrifice on that. No. We're just talking about, we're not talking about a fucking full 360. We're just talking about a 180. 180. And we reduced that 180 down to 18. And that's high. That's life. That's 6 times 6 times 6 plus 6 plus 6. Or 6 times 6 times 6. Back to this 216 on a big oracle. On a big oracle. Okay? On big life. All right? Or down to high, which is that of Chet and Yod. Star Wars, no. Yoda, yeah. Star Wars, no. We don't even tripping on no fucking Star Wars, cuz. Homie. We're tripping on that shit. Yoda, yeah. Kai. Yeah. Life. Lyfe. If we have to spell it in with anything, but without words, no letters, you already know what I'm talking about. So we move on again, and we come to the guide. We come to the guide. Okay. And we just had Haadi, okay? Somebody else used that today too. I think it was the Joker. You had, you know, but Jehadina. Yeah. You know, the guide, you know? A lot of people are moving up pretty fast. Hey. And you have to have a guide for that. And whether it be to the yin or to the yang, that's up to you. That's not me. It's not for me to fucking say. I just know I know what my seeds are. So he who acts, and watch about acting. It's a lot of bad fucking actors, okay? at the command of the highest remains without blame. Again, I would change that even to he who is, he who be the command of the highest. And you know what the highest is because it's written inside of your heart. That's how you fucking know. Okay? Remains without blame. Those of like mind partake of the blessing. So we don't necessarily act at the command of the highest. You be and you command yourself to be the highest. Fuck a act. All right? And those of like mind partake in the, I don't want to say blessing because it's be less, but you know what I'm saying, in the plus plus. Okay? In the plus plus. All right? So at the time of standstill is nearing into a point of change into its opposite. This is still the time we're talking about. Why? Because Lionsgate is fucking open. Hey, Lionsgate is getting okay. Trying to say something here to you. I mean, and it's the energy. It's the energy. It's a positive. Everything you can pull out is yin and yang inside of this. Positive and negative side here. So when we see it, we see it, we'll be able to recognize the seed, the vibration, the energy when it is before us or even within us, being worked out either by ourselves, for ourselves, or by ourselves for our ancestors. All right? So a man, whoever wishes to restore order, as we're sitting up here talking about, must feel himself called to the task and have the very authority. Authority, you respect my authority? A lot of people don't respect your authority because, you might not have the authority. You might be doing magic. That's not necessarily of the uh, yang thing, of the yang side. All right? So a man who sets himself up as capable of creating order according to his own judgment, according to whose judgment? He didn't say nobody else's judgment. It said a woman even, or according to their own judgment, could make mistakes and end up in failure. Okay? That's that's both sides of the coin, heads or tails. Okay? Yin and yang. But the man who is truly called to the task is favored by the conditions of the time, and all of those of like mind will share in his plus plus, and in her plus plus. All right. And so when we go over here, now nothing compares to you, and comparable one. There's a lot of people out there. They say I'm baddie, and depends on how they getting their shit. Baddie. It's a lot of spiritual baddies out there. Is what I'm saying. I mean, it's just a fucking. You just say, you guys should just go into a fucking, what do you call it? A company together and say, "Hi, I'm spiritual baddie number 1. I'm spiritual baddie number 2. I'm spiritual baddie number 3. Spiritual baddie number 4. Could you please come to the front right now? You have a customer." So, you see what I'm saying? Where's your fucking uniqueness inside of that shit? You're just spiritual baddie. Where is it? Where's All right. So standing still is giving away. Standing still is giving away. Good fortune for the great man. So this is what they're one. This is what they're saying right now. This is like position and everything that they have myself, many of us in. They want us to stand still so they can have good fortune for the great man. Because the great man is GR, right? That's going to be what, the 779, the fountain of fountain of Ruth. Okay, who eat. That's great. That's great. Fountain of youth that eat. That's great. Eat what? Eat man. Great fortune for the GR eat man. What if it should fail? What if it should fail? Double up. And this way, he ties to a cluster of mulberry shoots. The time undergoes change. The right man able to restore order has arrived, hence good fortune. But such periods of transitions are very times in which we must fear and tremble. Success is assured only through the greatest caution, which always asks, what if it should fail? When the mulberry bush is cut down, the number of the unusually strong shoots will shoot from the roots. Back to the roots again. Not Ruth. Not Ruth. But to the roots. Hence, and we're not talking about the roots of anybody else's lineage either. That is within yourself, your own. Because you're chosen this time to go ahead and set it up again for you. The ancestors is coming back through the next time, as Kuan Yin was stating today. All right? That's what we are here for. Okay? 137, 23 on the clock. All right? So, when a mulberry bush is cut down, the number of unusually strong roots sprout from the roots. Hence, the image of tying something to a cluster of mulberry roots, which is used to symbolize the way of making success certain. Confucius says about this line, so you got to watch out already because Confucius is telling us something, so listen up. Danger arises when a man feels secure in his position. A lot of people popping their collar feeling fucking secure in his positions right now. Destruction threatens when a man seeks to persevere with his worldly estate. Don't be Confucius. Don't listen to Confucius. You might be confused. Might be. Confusion develops when a man has put everything in order. Listen to that. Confusion develops when a man has put everything in order. So everything is set, huh? All right. Therefore, the superior man does not forget danger in his security or ruin when he is well established, nor confusion when his affairs are in order. In this way, he gains personnel safety and is able to protect the empire. All right? So this is, again, to the positive and to the negative right now. Yin and yang. All right? But don't be confused about it. This is Confucius saying this. Do you understand? When they put that in there, why they put that in there? Don't be confused. All right? Okay, so number 9. This is probably, again, talking about that of the full moon being up here on the 9th, okay? Naughty number 9, you know, those kitty cats, you know what I'm saying? Those sexy whistles, you know, you know what I mean? Or even the lion, Lionel, or that of the roar of the lion's gate. Okay, so it says the standstill comes to an end. First standstill, then good fortune. The standstill does not last forever. However, it does not cease on its own accord. The right man is needed to end it. This is the difference between the state of peace and the state of stagnations. Continuous effort is necessary to maintain peace. Left to itself, it would change into stagnation and disintegration. The time of disintegration, however, does not change back automatically to a condition of peace and prosperity. Effort must be put forth in order to end it. This shows the creative attitude that man must taketh if the world is to be put in order. This showeth the creative attitude that woman must taketh if the world is to be put in order. Whose world? Your world. Whose world? My world. Whose world? Me. Me world. All right? And so with that right there, I pray to be a man and even that feminine essence of this type of stature and nature. You know? This type of stature and nature, you know? That we know our seed. You know what I mean? Know our time. So with that, my peoples, and those who are not peoples, those who are uh, who don't necessarily, buy into all of the people thing, we the people thing. Okay, we the people. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Type of things. But we're gonna leave with that right there, and I really do appreciate you. Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? 100% for sure, mate. You've been very, very, very good for me. I've learned quite a bit. Whether it be a bat woman or a cat woman or a fucking fishy bitch or a fishy ass dude. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucking fish. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be any of those type of things. We go ahead and let you go ahead and get back into you, and I'm gonna get back into me. All right, you guys, be fruitful, multiply, and we will talk to you when we talk to you. All right. Soak it up. Soak it up right now. It'd be good to go ahead and, as Kuan Yin was saying, even some fasting. A lot of people are saying, I don't think she was saying fasting, but, in a general sense, 3 days in or 3 days out, through these full moon phases are a good time to do some fasting and everything. A lot of people have other reasons why they do the fasting and everything, and that's up to them. That's for them, and we can have our own also, which actually predates theirs. By the just put that in there, GP. But anyway, let me go ahead and let you get back to you, and I got out here and enjoy some of this day too. Okay, the crows that left, man. I knew they was talking too. We're gonna sit down here and see who can come and talk to us next time. All right. Anyway, be fruitful, multiply, and we'll talk to you soon. Ciao, ciao.